I'm a health and wellness coach and also just like type A and anxious, so planning and using things and tools like Notion is my bread and butter. Financial planning for savings accounts. Sounds so grown up. What's up, friends? Welcome back to my channel. Happy March. I feel like I haven't sat down to film any sort of sit-down video in quite some time, let alone a plan with me. I did do like a February Sunday reset this month. Well, February. I'm filming this in February still, kind of in lieu of a plan with me because I was not able to get a plan with me out in time for February 1st. So you can go check that out if you want to see what a reset for me looks like. The last plan with me we did was for January, the beginning of the year, where we focused a lot just on goals for 2024. So this feels like riding a bike right now, slowly getting my muscle memory back of how to do a plan with me and kind of my intentions for this video. First and foremost, you all can kind of see it next to me, but how do we feel about my new setup? I have upped the game, especially with the purple. I finally got a mount for my laptop just because it can be really difficult to sit at a computer all day when I'm working at home and just kind of hunched over trying to look down at the screen. So now I can actually kind of look up and feel somewhat normal. With that, I then had to get a new keyboard and mouse. Of course, I chose purple. I was a little worried at first that this would be like too much purple, because my iPad is also purple, but I kind of like the monotone that we have going on right now. This is also new as well, a little holder for all of my things. Anyway, not that any of you all really care about that, but I'm excited and it feels really nice too. Oh, this keyboard is like dirty. It feels really nice to be able to just sit down at my computer and like feel so prepared and professional, and I don't know, this keyboard is really nice the way that it types and has like a silicone mat on it. Okay, I'll stop talking, y'all don't care. I am also filming and using Notion on my work computer today because my personal laptop is just like, she's barely holding on right now. But I think we should just go ahead and get started because I gotta get to work. I'm working in the office today, which means I have a long commute. And we have just about 30 minutes until I have to leave, and I still have to eat breakfast and pack my bag and all of that. So if you're joining me for the first time for a plan with me, first of all, hi, my name is Sarah. That's, you know, a good introduction to start with. But I do a plan with me almost every single month. If I don't do a plan with me, I try to do a reset video of some sort. I do live in New York City, so if you hear noises, it's because I'm sitting right in front of my window, as you just heard a truck probably go by. I'm a health and wellness coach and also just like type A and anxious, so planning and using things and tools like Notion is my bread and butter. So I really love doing these videos and having an opportunity to reset, show you all what I'm doing, and be inspirational to myself, but also maybe to other people. I don't know. It's the motivation, accountability of it all. All right, so here is my Notion page, my Notion dashboard. As you can see, she's had a couple of upgrades since we last spoke. I think sometime in January, I went ahead and updated my header image. New year, new pictures, obviously still going with the purple theme. Y'all let me know when it's getting to be too much because people at work are starting to catch on and it's getting borderline embarrassing, but like it brings me so much joy. So I have this new cute image I just found on Pinterest. Otherwise, things are looking pretty much the same. At one point I did kind of redo the setup of my dashboard. It's all the same information though. Once upon a time I tried to film like a Notion update video in January for just like reorganizing. It wasn't a plan with me and it wasn't good. So it didn't get posted. Really don't remember what changes were made, what you have and haven't seen since January. But let's just jump right into it. When I start these videos, I like to just check in with my dashboard, my to-do list, my habit tracker, and make sure that's all caught up and up to date. I do this on a regular basis as well, just throughout the day, you know, as I finish some water, as I do something on my to-do list. Because I use Notion on both my laptop, my phone, and my iPad, I have a pretty good habit of just like opening it and checking it all the time, for better or for worse. So weekly to-do list and weekend to-do list, they're pretty small this week because I'm going to Delaware actually today. I'm leaving right from work, taking the train, filming my plan with me. We can check that off. I packed for Delaware, update my wall calendar. I still have to do that. She's currently on half January, half February. So not great. We need to update her. That's not gonna happen until I get back from Delaware. Scrolling down, we have my habit tracker. Did I finish everything for Thursday? Okay, I didn't mark anything for Thursday. I was doing pretty good at the start of this week. As you can see, I have 200%, which means I woke up on time, went to bed on time, practiced some sort of mindfulness, which was either meditation and or journaling, reading, movement, whether that was like just being unintentionally active throughout the day or doing actual exercise, drinking no alcohol, and that's it. So I did that on Monday and Tuesday. I accomplished some of those things on Wednesday. Thursday I did not wake up on time. I did not have moments of mindfulness. I did not read, unfortunately. I was going to during my lunch break, but then, you know, things just got a little chaotic at work, so I had to get a chance to do that. Movement, I didn't exercise, but with all the walking around I did to and from work and all that, she got her steps in. I did have a drink yesterday because it was National Margarita Day, so we can't check that off, but that's okay. But I did very much go to bed on time. And then this morning, I also didn't wake up on time. I couldn't sleep well. Actually, the last 2 nights I didn't sleep well, so I was giving myself grace. And then I haven't had an opportunity to check off any of the other things so far. Water intake was also doing pretty well Monday and Tuesday. I know 55% doesn't seem like a lot, but I have a pretty hefty goal, and I don't know, a lot of the times when I'm setting goals for myself, I don't want them to be too hefty because it feels unrealistic, but when it's something like water, where like you can never get enough of it, like this is okay for me. So yesterday, because it was so busy, I actually didn't drink that much water. I think I had half of one of these, which is 32 ounces, and then half of one of my tumblers, which would have been 12. It's 24, but half would have been 12. And I had like a little water at dinner. I don't know, we'll just call it 30 ounces, whatever. So I think what I will do first, I will go into my monthly goals, and then I want to check in some things that are new are my movement section. We can do a little something with that, and then we'll go into social media stuff at the end. But in case this is your first time here and you're really interested in Notion and the different sections that I have, you can see here, personal goals, social media, lifestyle and routines. I have a whole big section for meal planning that I absolutely love, but this is the end of the week. I've already meal planned. We don't need to get into it. Bucket list, wish list, reading list. I actually haven't done anything with that. Gift ideas, you know, all my social media stuff, more long-term stuff. So that's how I break things down. But going into monthly goals, I did set February goals. I wasn't sure at first if I did. Let me actually move these January goals into the archive. So just checking in with this first. In February, I was hoping to plan vacation, which I did. It's not fully planned. We're actually leaving in a couple of weeks to go to St. Thomas, which never been before. Going to an island in the middle, because not the middle of winter, it's still cold, whatever. Very excited. So we still have some details to plan for that I'm going to incorporate into my March goals. Visit Delaware. Yeah, I'm going today, so we can cross that off. Buy a new computer. I have not done that yet, but I am planning to do that this weekend, so I'm going to cross that off. Finish current book. I have not. But again, it is February 23rd. We still have a handful of days left. I'm actually holding off on this so I can read it on the train coming back home from Delaware. So I'm just gonna go ahead and check that off because by the time this video goes out, it will have been completed. Journal 3 times. 1, 2. I've only journaled twice, but like I said, there is still time. So I'll hold off on that. Reorganize my kitchen. It feels so good to check that off. If you watch my last video, my Bake With Me, where I turned my cat into a cake, feel free to go check that out. It was an exciting time. I didn't talk about it too much, but you can see that we did get a new kitchen island, and I spent, I think, like a Saturday night a couple of weeks ago just like organizing it all and having a grand old time, putting all my baking stuff into one place, and it is just perfection. I love it. Okay, anyway. So those are my February goals. I'll leave them up here for now, but we will make a section for March. So as an attempt to prepare, I did actually write down some goals for March ahead of time, just so I wouldn't forget. But honestly, with us going on vacation, we're only going to St. Thomas for a week, but then we'll also be in Delaware visiting family for a week. Very grateful for Evan and I to both have 2 weeks off together. But with that, March is like an easy, flexible month, right? Like we're not gonna put too many hefty goals in there where it just doesn't happen and then we feel bad. It's an easy month. This is our summer vacation, basically. So first and foremost, since we are leaving for vacation quite soon, we need to start planning a little bit more. So we booked our flight, we booked an Airbnb. What happens between the day we get there and the day we leave? We're not sure yet. So first goal is to come up with some ideas for a vacation. As much as I love planning and things, when it comes to vacation, I do like to keep it a little more open-ended, though having like a bucket of ideas to pull from is helpful. So just looking at restaurants in the area, looking at things to do, and then just general like research of the island and, you know, the culture of St. Thomas and all those different things. So I want to do that at some point in the next couple of weeks. Related to that would be buying things for vacation. So there really isn't too much we have to do. I just got Evan new suitcases for his birthday, so we'll be using those to travel. I want to buy some sunscreen ahead of time, reef-friendly sunscreens. It's probably gonna be so expensive on the island. I did just buy a pair of new shorts and a new dress because why not? Treat yourself. So I guess with this, I have to brainstorm the things that I do need to buy for vacation and then buy them for vacation. Because that's just a couple of things that we need, but we're probably going to need more. The third one that I wrote down like preemptively was starting a new savings account. And I actually did do that this week. However, it's not like fully set up and I want to make some more plans for it. One of my goals for 2024 is to save more money and be more intentional and just be more like financially literate in general. So I've been doing that slowly but surely. First by creating a savings account where I can start saving for emergencies and vacation and all those types of different things. I'd love to maybe talk more about that in another video once it's like set up and we're going. So I have the savings account, but I feel like I need to plan a little bit more about like what that emergency fund looks like, what the vacation fund looks like, and all that. So financial planning for savings accounts. Sounds so grown up. And then pulling from a typical monthly goal, I'd like to read another book with vacation and laying on the beach for hours at a time. Hopefully that is easy to do. I think we can carry over the journal 3 times. We won't up it just yet. If you've been here for a minute, you know that this is kind of back and forth. So we'll just keep it at 3 for now because that seems like I'm approaching that. And that's doable. So let's just maintain that before we start going crazy. This next one is technically something I would probably put under my social media monthly goals, but I think it's really important. I feel like I check and pay attention to my like personal goals more, but I want to pre-film and edit videos since I'll be gone for so long. I have already done the first step of this and planning out what some of those videos will be. I was debating whether I should film things while I'm in St. Thomas, and I think I might because it's just gonna be so special and so fun. And I mean, what I eat in a day in St. Thomas I think would just be really interesting and different, and it gets me, you know, it's showing me outside of my house, which, as we know, a lot of my videos are filmed inside of my apartment. So I think the only other thing I want to add to March, knowing that I am getting a new computer this weekend, finally, 10 years in the making. I mean, not 10 years in the making. I've had my current MacBook Pro since 2014, so she's 10 years old, but I've needed a new computer for probably the last 2 years. Any sort of like, I don't know, just organizing my new computer. So just general setup stuff, obviously like backgrounds and those details, like carrying that over for my current laptop. I'm sure going from a 2014 MacBook Pro to, I think I'm gonna get another MacBook Pro. I don't remember which one off the top of my head. There's probably 10 years worth of updates and upgrades, so just playing around with some of that. Cool, okay, I think this is doable. I feel good about these goals. Yeah, we will revisit this going into the April plan with me to see what I accomplish. Okay, so now I think I want to go back to this movement section, which is new. So this is something I started incorporating recently just as a separate section to kind of track my activity. As you can see, it's been a little hit or miss. Actually, I did run on Tuesday, so that's cool. I didn't do those 2 workouts though. It's been a week. But I don't know, I do want to build this out a little bit more. I made this very quickly, not that long ago, and kind of similar to my habit tracking. I want to be able to, you know, eventually we can kind of like pool stats from this, organize it by type of workout or spin, whatever it was, to see like how consistent I was. You know, general daily movement is great, and I always want to make sure I am being active in some way, whether it's intentional workouts or not. But I don't know, and we're playing around with it. So I think what I want to do right now, I'm going to be away for 2 weeks of March, right? So like I'm not going to plan any workouts for that. It's a low pressure month. But I don't have anything planned out yet for next week, last week of February. It won't really matter by the time this video is posted, but I do want to plan out what I'm doing next week and then other 2 weeks of March where I will still be here, just kind of getting it out of the way. That way I don't have to think about it. All right, so I just quickly put in my intended workouts for the next couple of weeks. So next week I was comparing both of my work schedules because I have 2 jobs and traveling and all that. So I'm coming back to Dyalla on the 26th, so nothing's happening that day. It will be a marathon just getting from Penn Station to my apartment in Brooklyn. Tuesday and Friday I work at my other job, so there's quite literally no time to do extra things. So I'm gonna try to take a spin class and then run on the Wednesday and Thursday. Weekends are always up in the air. Sometimes I'll take a spin class on the weekends, so we'll just see. And then the 2 weeks of March where I will be at home in New York, I kind of just copy and pasted an ideal routine, running twice a week, a full body exercise, a lower body exercise, and then a break day. This is also very dependent on the weather, so as these weeks approach, these days approach, you know, I'll compare the schedule also to the weather to see what is doable. These are also 2 weeks that I'm working on site in the office and won't be remote, so taking a spin class just isn't realistic, so that's why you don't see a spin class there. All right, so next I'm gonna go into social media. I don't think I'm gonna go into monthly goals because the structure of that is kind of already laid out in the fact that I need to film and edit some videos and just plan for that, which I kind of already have. Or actually, I guess we can go in because I have, okay, so I do have some goals about like subscriber milestones. So and I haven't even made a new one since December. So let's just make one for the sake of making one, but like it's gonna be small because March is just an odd month. Before we move on from this, I have reached 2,800 subscribers. I don't remember if I don't remember any of this. We're just gonna move this to the archive and move on with our lives. All right, so March goals, 2,900 subscribers. I think I probably reached 2,800 after December. We still checked it off, whatever. We'll check in with subscriber analytic numbers in just a minute. 2,900 subscribers, we'll say post 3 videos. There might be, just with being away, there might be a week that I miss, fair warning. And we're just gonna keep it there, honestly. I don't wanna get too into that. All right, so then to finish out my social media section, content planning, I never really do in these videos, and I've already done it a little bit on my own. So we'll just go into the growth tracker and see where we're at. Same thing as it's been the past couple months. We're focusing on YouTube, Instagram, and TikTok. Okay, so I didn't set this up ahead of time, but let's pretend that I had written out that my goal for February was 2,900, and my actual count at this moment is 2,865. Which is an increase of 36, so it's an increase. that's that. You know, not as big as the past couple of months, but we'll take what we can get. So next we look at watch time hours. All right, so watch time hours for the past year in total are 1,189. Lifetime views are at 243,238. Go ahead and make one for March. So by the end of March, the goal is 2,900 since I have yet to reach that, but we're getting pretty close, so I'm hopeful about it. All right, my friends, and that about sums up the plan with me for March. I kind of like that I have the time pressure of needing to leave for work because all too often I let these videos go on for way too long, and filming and editing 30-minute plan with me videos every single month is just not realistic. So as always, down below I will link the creators and inspiration and templates and stuff that I have used for my own Notion to build it out. So please go support all those folks. I'll also have linked playlists for my other types of videos. So on top of Plan With Me's and Resets, I do Bake With Me's. I love baking. Baking is my favorite hobby. What I eat in a day is life in New York City. And yeah, that's kind of the biggest topic areas I cover. So you can check that all out down below. As always, thank you so much for joining me on this planning journey. I hope you all had a beautiful February and have an absolutely fabulous March. Thank you so much, and I will see you next time.